Hey Joe, welcome to the Hidden Wire podcast. Great to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to meet you.
It's nice to have visuals on these podcasts that we do. Come face
Sure.
to face across the world.
Totally. You're on a mountaintop. I am in a room. I I didn't bring my background today.
I like the Zoom backgrounds that you can put anything in there, which is great. Joe said, whereabouts are you?
I am in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Born and bred?
No, I've bounced around Earth. I grew up in the Northeast, northeastern United States, like New York and Philadelphia, then moved to LA and spent some time there. And finally, just in the last 6 months, I moved down here to Austin, Texas. It seems to be the place that everybody's moving.
Why's that?
When I was in LA, there's a big kind of health and wellness scene. And when the pandemic hit, a lot of the infrastructure for that disappeared. So like yoga studios and places like that, a lot of the people that were in that kind of work, a lot of those people just fled to Costa Rica or other places. And I
I
guess
hear
since
Costa Rica is pretty popular too, huh?
it is, yeah, definitely. So I think since Austin and Texas mostly stayed open, a lot of people ended up coming here. So it actually has like a really great scene, and a lot of really interesting people have ended up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good things come from crisis sometimes.
Yeah, it's really funny because I'll go to a spa or something and I'll just run into 10 people from 10 different times in my life, other parts of the world, and we're all here. And we're just like, whoa, okay, all right, something's happening.
There you go. Tell us, just going into that, because that sounds like an interesting topic, and I'd love your perspective on it. With that pandemic, what was your experience? The goods and
My
the bads.
Yeah, my experience, it was quite disruptive to my routine, obviously, most people. But
Yeah,
I lived on the beach in Venice, and I would every morning I would swim in the ocean every single morning, no wetsuit, and just be out there, and it was really good for me. And in the beginning days when they weren't sure what the heck was going on, they closed the beaches, so you weren't allowed to actually even go in the water. So it was like threatened with like a $3,000 fine the first day. and uh and what was funny is you were allowed to walk around other places. So the beach you could easily distance from other people, but on the streets you couldn't. So it's like, wow, the one place that feels safest here, I'm not allowed to go. And it was the one place that was my sanctuary every morning. So it was a bit disruptive. But then once people were allowed to move around a little more, I found that I just felt really blessed to live where I lived, because I didn't, gyms were closed and things, but I could go swimming every day. I could run on the beach every day. I could go rollerblading every day. And so that was a blessing. And then
yeah,
over time,
right.
yeah, over
So
time
you're
it
living
got
in Venice.
I was living in Venice. Have you been there?
Yes, yeah, we have. Yeah, a while back
Nice.
now, probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool spot.
Yeah.
Never swim in the ocean, mind you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of
Just
friends in
touring.
there. Got dolphins and sea lions.
Yeah, right. We
Lovely.
swim in the ocean here sometimes, but it can be a bit hairy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That.
Not so much where I am, but so Joe, tell us a bit about what you do. You're the CEO of Data Garden. What is that all about?
Yeah, so we make music from real-time data streams. So many of your listeners may be familiar with data visualization. That is basically taking data and making it into a visual. So you're familiar with like weather maps and graphs and things like that. Well, we can take data and use sound to represent data. And so that's what we do at Data Garden. And we specifically focus on real-time data streams from biological systems. So we make
Hmm.
music from like we can make music from like heartbeats and things like that. And We are most known for PlantWave, which is a device that translates plant data into music.
Wow. Okay. Connecting to the earth and using the earth to power some music. Is that?
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, the way it works is PlantWave connects to a plant with two sensors. And then we're measuring these slight changes in conductivity through the plant. And so as the plant is photosynthesizing, it's moving water around. And so the amount of water between the 2 points is changing. And so as we graph that over time, that is a wave. We translate that wave into pitch because, a note is a wave. So we translate the wave into pitch, and then we route the pitch messages to different instruments. So basically, a plant doesn't sound like a piano or flutes, but with PlantWave, you can get your plant to play a piano or flutes. So the result is this continuous
technical.
well, it's the simple thing. If you want to think of it this way, you could almost think of it as the plant is kind of playing wind chimes with its own biological system. You could think of this as your own heartbeat, or your own breathing rhythm. If you could translate that into a note, that's basically what we're doing, and it gives people a really cool experience of seeing how active plants are, because every single note is an expression of something happening in the plant. So
Wow.
yeah.
Who came up with this idea? Has it been around a while, or?
Well, it's an evolution. I mean, I worked on it with some friends about 10 or 11 years ago. It was inspired by early work in plant consciousness studies that were being done in the 60s and 70s. There is a researcher by the name of Cleve Baxter. He was a polygraph expert who experimented with connecting plants to lie detectors to look at how they respond to different stimuli. And so in his research, he had these experiences where the plant seemed to respond to, for instance, his idea to tear the plant or light a fire to the plant to experiment with whether or not the plant was conscious. Now, a lot of these experiments haven't been able to be replicated, but what's cool about it to me is that the plant clearly has a biorhythm that can be expressed as this graph. And so for me as a sound artist, I saw this and I saw these waves and I thought, oh, we can use that data and express it as music. And what would that be like? What kind of experiences could we create with that? So it was really just it was a fun art project. And then it ended up changing my life because I saw that I started to have those experiences that Cleve Baxter had, where I'm not going to threaten a plant to burn it or anything, but I would notice that plants seem to respond. The music would change when certain people walked into a room when I did an exhibition at a museum. And
so you're still plugged into the plant, alive sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's live data feeding in through to the music.
Correct.
And you can then notice the environmental changes the plant reacts to it.
Yep. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was crazy because I was sitting there and all of a sudden the music would completely change when someone walked into the room. And this didn't happen with everyone. I had thousands of people coming through this room checking it out. And every once in a while, the music would have a huge shift. So I would walk over to the person who it seemed like initiated this shift just by their own presence. And I would ask them, say, hey, this might sound crazy, but when you walked into the room, the plants completely changed what they were doing. And they would say things like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. I'm an energy healer, or I'm a Reiki master, or I'm a botanist, or I'm a florist. So these people that had deep relationships with plants or were finely attuned to subtle forms of energy. And that stuff was like completely outside of my wheelhouse. But what it showed me, or what it opened me to in terms of a possibility, is that because plants are essentially processing light for food, we know what it feels like when someone walks into a room and they feel like a bright light. We use that language, right? As humans, we say like, "Oh, that bright light," or that person feels like a dark cloud. Well, plants are processing light within our visible light spectrum and outside of it. So it could be possible that actually the humans bringing different energies into a room are actually affecting plants, and that when people say that talking to plants can help them grow, it might not actually be the sound. It could actually be kind of the feeling that you're bringing to a plant.
Like the energy.
Exactly.
Right. Interesting. Can you give us some examples of this data? Is it possible to bring up something now that you've recorded, or?
Oh, yeah.
I've just put you on a spot here, but
No worries. No,
since we're a podcast, it makes sense.
Rolling all the time. Here, I can record this so you can sync it, or I'll just hold this up to a microphone. I'll do both.
So what do you got there?
So I have my PlantWave, which is right here. It's kind of behind the camera, or not behind the camera, so you can't see it, but
can't see it. Yeah,
it's right here. And here actually.
So that's a plant there you've got.
I have a plant.
Yeah.
Plant. Okay, I can bring it all here. All right, cool. So now you see this is the PlantWave. And this is the plant.
So he's got this like little box that's sort of glowing. And then you got your plant. Okay, so your plant's okay. It's just attached to the leaves. So for those that can't see this visually, we've got two like almost, what do you call those, pads? Like you'd imagine you'd stick on your chest when you're getting a.
Yeah, they're TENS pads. They're used for lots of things. They're used for like EKGs and for massage, kind of electrical stimulation. In this case, we're getting we're measuring impedance in a plant.
Okay, so that's connected to the leaves, and then you've got this little box which is the sound wave.
Yeah, this is the PlantWave, and the
PlantWave.
Yeah, and so the PlantWave is basically it's what's doing it's the sensor for the plant, and what it's doing is measuring these changes and graphing them as a wave and translating the wave to pitch, and then is the change in colors like the waves moving through? The changing color is representation of how active the plant is. So if it's less active, you would only see the red, but you're seeing like a full rainbow. So it's quite active right now. Yeah. And then I have here on my phone, I have the PlantWave app, and the app is what has instruments on it. And so we have this PlantWave paired with the app, and now I'll turn the volume up and you can hear. And then when I touch it, you'll also hear more changes. We can't quite hear. Oh, there it goes. So you can change the sort of instruments that the waves move through? That's correct. You can change the instruments. So I'll try another set of instruments here. This other one, and they all have different names, and they all kind of have different use cases. I'll play one. I'll select one here that's called Jungle Brook, and we'll check this one out. Jungle Brook. So every single note that you hear there is actually an expression of a change that's happening in the plant. and then the rate at which the notes are playing, that is, so I basically scale the data so that it's in a key, and then I choose how often the plant is allowed to play a note and things like that. But then every single note that you hear is an expression of the real-time data coming from the plant.
Coming from the plant. Wow. It's pretty cool stuff, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I'll give you a audio recording of that so you can sync it if you'd like.
So who's the key user of this this app at the moment?
Well, we have it's pretty popular with people in kind of the wellness space.
Yeah.
A lot of people are using PlantWave kind of to enhance their wellness practice, whether it's yoga or meditation. People are using PlantWave at home just simply to relax or as background music while they're working.
Yeah.
They're using it like on the trail or in the garden. Some people are even collaborating musically with their plants, playing harp or playing piano or guitar along with them.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely see it used in the office space or for meditation or yoga purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just purely plants that you're sort of connecting with at the moment? Are there other living things out there that you like from the earth?
Yeah. Plants, I see. Well, we sometimes connect them to mushrooms too.
Mm-hmm.
So what's cool about mushrooms is that a lot of times they're growing on decomposing plant materials. So we'll connect connect to different mushrooms, and you hear the connection between those two mushrooms through the plant that's hosting them. Yeah, I mean, it's the sensor was developed for plants, and the software that we built is going to be able to be used for human use as well. So we're going to begin pairing this with human wearables like Apple Watch, Fitbit, and others, so that humans can have a soundtrack to their life that is based in real time on their body's activities to enhance meditation, sleep, focus, all the activities that a human might want to enjoy.
Wow. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, if you can just imagine how infectious that kind of music would be. If you think of playlists and things, right? How good playlists have gotten. It used to be, your friend would put together some mixtape or something like that, right? And they would do that, and it would take them hours, right? And then
Yeah.
then the iPod comes out, and now you can make these things more on the fly. And then now you have Spotify, and Spotify makes different playlists tailored to your tastes and optimized for different activities. Well, imagine if the resolution of that experience wasn't on the song level, but was on the note level. Like you were getting the note for that moment. We have the technology. The technology is being built that will allow that to happen. And so the idea of kind of a melodic hook that we would love, that would really hit us, we can be generating hits like in the moment
through our own body.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it would relate to the mood that you're in at the time as well, whether you're working out or meditating or angry or sad.
Sure. Yeah, we can have it so it reflects your mood, or we can also have it so it guides your mood. And
okay.
Usually it would meet you in your mood and then
guide you out of it, potentially.
Or guide you to wherever you're going. It depends on what your next meeting is. Maybe you have like a jiu-jitsu match, so might have to get you amped up, right?
Right. Yeah. Interesting. So what outside Data Garden? What else what are you up to with your work?
That's really it. That's
your focus.
Really that's my focus right now. We're working on bringing some other folks onto the team to build these other kinds of music based on the human body. But the main thing right now is PlantWave. It's we're coming up on the gifting season, so we're in manufacturing right now on a new run of devices, and we're excited to share those with folks. So those will we're in pre-sale right now. So we have that happening, and then I do a lot of traveling. I figured out, I guess my job is to go to beautiful places and connect plant waves and make TikTok videos.
Yeah,
That's
right.
my job.
Okay.
So
Sounds
pretty
pretty fun.
cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to wherever that mountain is that you are there, although I don't see many plants.
Maybe down lower. Yeah.
Yeah, a little lower. But yeah, so I'll
Do you
probably do.
find the size of the plant changes the depth of the music? Does it matter, or are all plants sort of?
Yeah, definitely hardy tropical plants tend to do best. They usually provide the most variation in conductivity and
Right.
the most expression. So I really like philodendron and schefflera. And if you think of plants that there are a lot of these tropical plants that you would find at a garden or even hardware store these days, like snake plants. So those tend to have the most going on. But I also like going to places and listening to native wild grasses and things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Man.
a lot more sparse in terms of its music, but
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So where do
yeah,
people go? I mean, you got a website there that people can
yeah,
have a look at these devices and purchase one if they want.
sure thing. Yeah, you can go to plantwave.com and there you can pre-order a PlantWave. And we're shipping them in November. They'll arrive for Christmas. And yeah, we're excited. We're excited to get these out into the world. And
What's
then
it
yeah.
made out of, that little box? It
Oh,
looks a bit
that's a
organic.
great question. So the material is a material that we had. We worked with a manufacturer here in the U.S. to have this material made. It is reclaimed wood filings from U.S.-based sawmills, bonded together with a recycled polypropylene. So it looks like it's like a little wooden box
It
that
does, yeah.
also has kind of echoes of a shape of maybe a Japanese rock garden kind of, or ocean stone kind of feel to it. And but yeah, it's completely made of recycled materials.
Yeah, nice. Thought it would be. That's pretty cool looking box.
Yeah,
So that's at plantwave.com, yeah?
that's correct. Plantwave.com.
So you can jump on there and check it all out. And you got TikTok too, or where do people connect with you and watch what
Yeah.
you're doing?
Yeah. PlantWave can be found on Instagram and TikTok at PlantWave. And then also I have my own TikTok, my own, I don't know how this works, but my own personal TikTok blew up more than PlantWave. So that's cool. But I mostly post PlantWave content on my own TikTok too. And mine is called Nature of Now. So you can
Uh-huh.
find me there as
That's your
well.
personal one, Nature of Now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll see all the behind the scenes of me traveling and all of that stuff. And sometimes I'll answer people's questions about plant music and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I guess people like to connect with the person rather than the brand sometimes, huh?
Yeah, 2022. It seems to be the way that the world works, which is nice because I think it's important to have. I think, I think people hid behind brands for way too long, and a lot of people took advantage of other people by hiding behind a brand. And we're not about that. We're really about being authentic and being out there and putting our. I'm definitely down to put my face on things and just show up and be there for our customers.
Yeah. Well, people are, we've become so disconnected, haven't we? Hiding behind brands and technology, and people want to get back to connecting face to face, one on one, with the
Definitely.
person. So it's important. Mate, that's really fascinating stuff. I reckon the audience is going to love it, guys. You can check it out at thehiddenwhy.com. The links will be in the show notes, and this video will be up on YouTube as well if you want to have a look at what Joe was doing with playing the music and the plant there as well. Joe, thanks so much for coming on today.
My pleasure. Yeah, thanks so much. Enjoy the plant music and yeah, enjoy your evening.
All the best, mate. Thank you, guys, and thanks for listening. Check it out at thehiddenwhy.com. Until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. See you soon.
Yeah.